The Charge of the Light Brigade. By Alfred. Lord Tennyson. Stanza 1. Half a league, half a league. Half a league onward. All in the valley of death. Rode the 600. Forward, the Light Brigade. Charge for the guns, he said. Into the valley of death. Rode the 600. Stanza 2. Forward, the Light Brigade. Was there a man dismayed? Not though the soldier knew someone had blundered. There's not to make reply. There's not to reason why. There's but to do and die. Into the valley of death. Rode the 600. Stanza 3. Cannon to right of them. Cannon to left of them. Cannon in front of them. Volleyed and thundered. Stormed at with shot and shell. Boldly they rode and well. Into the jaws of death. Into the mouth of hell. Rode the 600. Stanza 4. Flashed all their sabres bare. Flashed as they turned in air. Sabering the gunners there. Charging an army, while all the world wondered. Plunged in the battery smoke. Right through the line they broke. Cossack and Russian reeled from the saber stroke. Shattered and sundered. Then they rode back, but not the 600. Stanza 5. Cannon to right of them. Cannon to left of them. Cannon behind them. Volleyed and thundered. Stormed at with shot and shell. While horse and hero fell. They that had fought so well came through the jaws of death. Back from the mouth of hell. All that was left of them. Left of 600. Stanza 6. When can their glory fade? Oh, the wild charge they made. All the world wondered. Honor the charge they made. Honor the Light Brigade. Noble 600. Summary and analysis of the poem. The Charge of the Light Brigade is an 1854 narrative poem by Alfred. Lord Tennyson. About the charge of the Light Brigade at the Battle of Balaclava. During the Crimean War. He wrote it on December 2, 1854, and it was published on December 9, 1854 in the Examiner. He was the Poet Laureate of the United Kingdom at the time. The Charge of the Light Brigade celebrates an act of bravery and sacrifice. A suicidal cavalry charge during the Crimean War. Tennyson wrote the poem based on 2 articles published in the Times. The first, published on November 13, 1854, contained the sentence "The British soldier will do his duty, even to certain death, and is not paralyzed by the feeling that he is the victim of some hideous blunder." The last 3 words of which provided the inspiration for his phrase "someone had blundered." The Charge of the Light Brigade, which commemorates the courage of 600 British soldiers charging a heavily defended position during the Battle of Balaclava in the Crimea. It is a narrative poem, with features of the ballad form. This means that each stanza progresses the story of the attack. There are 6 stanzas. As if each stanza is a memorial stone to 100 of the 600 cavalrymen. In the first 3 stanzas the Light Brigade is approaching the guns. Since the poem soon became essential reading for the soldiers in the field, it seems that Tennyson's imagination stood the test of authenticity, at least. He had produced a story which drew assent. The poem is remarkable for the simplicity and dramatic immediacy of its description. The relentless pace of the cavalry as they gallop into the mouth of hell is vividly rendered in the breathlessly short lines and thundering rhythms. Whereas the return of the survivors brings a gasp of shocked recognition. But not the 600. The poem has 6 stanzas of differing lengths. The meter is dactylic, meaning that one stressed syllable is succeeded by 2 unstressed syllables. This gives the sense of boldly galloping or thundering like a drum. The rhyme scheme is irregular. Anaphora is also used. Repetition of the same word at the beginning of multiple lines, which here creates the sense of the barrage the soldiers were facing, and which in general intensifies the emotion of the scene. The rhymes also tend to intensify the emotion and suggest the inevitability of the situation rather than something like unrhymed free verse would have done, which would have evoked mere chaos. The Crimean War was a conflict between the Russian Empire and the forces of the British Empire, French Empire, Ottoman Empire, and Kingdom of Sardinia. It spanned 3 years, from 1853 to 1856, and was largely concerned with the territories of the Ottoman Empire, which by this time was in decline. The famous charge of the British Light Cavalry took place at the Battle of Balaclava on October 25, 1854. This brigade was supposed to pursue a Russian artillery train but, due to miscommunication, was instead sent into a frontal assault against heavily fortified Russian defenses. The British were valorous but were cut to pieces and retreated with immense casualties. The reasons for the poem's contemporary popularity should be evident because it is such a stirring expression of courage under fire, of heroism under impossible odds, of the might of the English military. Tennyson's images are powerful. He creates a scene of chaos and carnage with cannons thundering and shells falling. The men are stoic and unquestioning as Englishmen are supposed to be, and they embrace their orders without offering critique or refusal. Tennyson also captures the frustration of the blunder and the perhaps needless loss of life. The men ride boldly and fight well in the hellish battle, in the valley of death. That is their burial ground. In any case, the personification of the valley and the mouth of hell and valley of death creates a terrifying scene. The 600 men are truly remarkable for throwing themselves into this monstrous situation under orders. It is important that the memory of these men lives on, that their glory never fades. The poet calls upon readers to honor the charge they made. Honor the Light Brigade, for their duty, loyalty, and perseverance. This political poem is quite different from his mythical, lyrical, and narrative works, although the theme of death is certainly prominent once again. And the poem fits the nobility of the fighters and the need to recognize the noble valor of military men. End of the summary and analysis. Thank you.